Hello, my love bugs. It is June 3rd, 1:22 p.m., 2025, London Standard Time. That's because I'm in London. So, today's episode is about work-life balance. And that I kind of disagree with the usual advice people would give somebody to create more boundaries in their job. So I had a conversation with a friend the other day, and basically he's sort of stressed at work because he's absolutely trying his best, doing everything that he can to reach the results that the job, not even that the job requires, because he is doing it, but the boss is unsatisfied with the results of the company, and basically, from his perspective, putting it on him. And somebody else's feedback was, well, creating boundaries around, because basically he, feels like he needs to be on his phone all the time because the chats are through WhatsApp and he needs to be available all the time, but then the appreciation isn't there. In my perspective, the average person would probably say, we'll create specific time that you work, which yes, I agree with. However, I was brought up a little bit different. My father always told me, if work and play are one and the same, you're doing something right. Now, perhaps I come from a family of workaholics, and I don't know balance. And that's okay, because I like our lifestyle, and I like what my family has built. So I understand that to have a certain lifestyle, there are no boundaries. You work all the time. However, me doing this podcast right now, I consider that work. Okay, I'm not making cash from it, or other certain things that I do might not be immediate return, but I know that I'm building something. And painting is work. So yeah, it's work, but it also is really enjoyable. But sometimes it definitely feels like work. Fitness is fun and work. Everything, basically I made all my hobbies into work because, I'm a little ADHD and I can't just do one thing. Mostly just can't sit still for too many hours. So if I do 4 different things in a day, then it feels like I'm kind of doing whatever that I want, but they're all building something related or unrelated. It's all wellness related. Anyways, that's me. So my perspective is a little bit different in the sense that I don't think you necessarily need to create boundaries around work. I think you need to do something different or find purpose in what you're doing. So there's certain things that I'm doing, say sponsorship reports. That's not fun for me to spend hours on Canva creating reports. But I know that one, I'm growing VAF, Art Vancouver. I'm building that out, which benefits everyone. And I see the purpose and the mission behind that company or that organization. And then also for myself, I think, okay, this is a great skill tool kind of to have, because if I then need to do that for myself, I know exactly what to do. And it's easier to sort of sculpt. It's easier to do something when there's already a foundation than it is when I try to do something new for my own business. If I don't necessarily have the data or the components and I'm just making it up, it's a lot harder. But say with another company, there's already so much history that it's a lot easier for me to work with because I know the components already. The point is, you can find purpose in the work that you're doing, even if it's not your ideal work for that moment in time. But I also have noticed and read is that the number one thing is just feeling appreciated. So you can work so much and love it because you feel valued and you see the purpose, or you can work however much as well and feel burnt out and drained, and that it's soul crushing because it feels meaningless and you're not appreciated for your efforts. So The first question is, what does overworking feel like? So it's not just about time, it's about how emotionally drained you feel. I think if you're feeling overworked, you're not climbing the right ladder. That's not always the case though, because sometimes I am tired. I'm often tired. I don't want to take that away because I don't want to put that into the ether. You can still get tired from, doing the work. The question is, are you climbing the right ladder? Or is it the work that you're doing, but maybe it's just not the team that feels aligned? Just start asking yourself questions about work. So, passion and purpose feel different from burnout. Passion can tire you out, but it doesn't deplete your soul. Burnout is like, why am I doing this? What's the meaning of life? Like, this just feels so purposeless. I don't know if that's the word. There's a difference between hard work with a purpose and hard work for survival. Really, to summarize that, I already said it, but are you climbing the right ladder? Maybe you're not climbing anymore, but you most likely are. And it's not even that you're climbing, but you're just always trying to build something, either for someone else, for yourself, or if you are building it for someone else and it doesn't feel aligned, if you are not able to leave from it right now, how can you make it work for you in your head? Like, even when I have employees or interns or whoever is working, it's like, I know two perspectives. Selfishly, I know they'll do better work if they find meaning in it. And also for themselves, I know they'll do better work if they find meaning in it. So it's a win-win for everyone. So when I'm giving a task or explaining a new project, if it's somebody new where they don't necessarily have like the passion behind work yet, I explain it in a way of how this task or project can be transferable to their goals. I always go over personal goals with interns or employees. I don't really do it anymore because somebody else does, but she does that with them now. Someone on my team. But both people know, the employer and the employee know what the employee's goals are. The employer's job, I think, is to, one, give tasks that are aligned with those goals. Obviously, if you signed up for a job that has nothing to do with it, then it's like, okay, what are you doing? Switch it up. But even if you're just trying to survive and make money to pay your bills, you can find purpose in it. Or maybe you just hate it so much that it gives you enough drive to change, to make a change. My point is, if you have that work ethic and you're giving something your all, but you're not getting rewarded for it or appreciated, and maybe it's not very good, maybe it's shitty work, that's totally fine. It's not the right thing for you. But don't pull yourself back. Don't try to set boundaries around your own work ethic because it's just not the right fit. Like, if you want to go all in, but because somebody is making you feel like your work sucks, and then you retreat and you're like, well, then I won't do all this because it's not even making a difference. Like, no, keep that. If you have that ability, that's incredible. That is rare. Just shift the direction. You're just not hitting the right target. So just shift the target a little bit, or shift your angle so you can actually hit the right target. And then you'll feel, wow, is that like amazing? Okay, that was a lot of work, but like, whew, it feels good. Then the second point here is, if you're not feeling rewarded, deeper issues to explore is it a lack of external validation or is it internal misalignment? So it's basically what I just said, is perhaps it's a little bit of both. You're not getting the external validation that you feel is accurate. Not sure the right word there. But that could simply just be because it's an internal misalignment. You're not doing the right thing for you, or you're not with the right company, or you're not climbing the right ladder. Like, you never hold yourself back from working hard. Work as hard as you possibly can. I find, what do they say? The fitness one. Like, no more gas in the tank. Give it all your gas. Don't save any energy. Then you'll be surprised later that there actually is more gas in the tank and you can keep going. And some workplaces aren't equipped to recognize effort unless it yields instant results, but that doesn't mean your effort isn't valuable. Whether or not the company recognizes it, you should know for yourself that you are building a stronger character and that you can go somewhere else with better skills, confident in your work ethic, and gain more recognition or whatever it is that you're trying to gain. Money, financial gains. The reward isn't always monetary or verbal. Sometimes the wrong job can't offer the right kind of reward. It's kind of like a relationship. You might be the whole package, just at the wrong address. Which same for a job. Like for myself. Thank God my parents are both whatever they are, and that they didn't try to make me fit into the standard life path or job, because they could see that I'm simply different. I don't learn the same way. I had a very difficult time in school. It's hard for me to hold attention for too long. However, what I've noticed is I can paint for hours on end. Yeah, okay, 15 hours, 12 hours, that's a bit long and then it feels painful. But I can paint for at least like 8 hours, no problem. And I'm so in flow, where when I sit on the computer, 8 hours feels like it's pulling teeth. So I do a little bit of computer work because I still enjoy it. I like doing a bunch of different things. But then I also do my creative fields like this, public speaking, creating my workbook, Master Your Mindset. Even creating the workbook, oh God, doing it digitally, that was torture. But I knew why I was doing it, and that only I could create it because it was within me. Nobody else could do that job. So certain jobs, I always try to find for myself, can somebody else do that? Great, delegate. Where is the job that only I can do? How can only I produce this? And most often it's creating new structures of efficiency within what we already have. But it's hard for me to do, say, our exhibitor experience at our Vancouver. It would be hard for me to just sort of like make it up, but I can edit it real well. So if there's already a program or platform or process in front of me, how can I simplify the process and make it a more enjoyable experience for, say, the exhibitor, the customer, and the seller, us, the admin people. That then, my mom calls it abstract reasoning ability. My sister scored real high on that, and she'll never let anyone forget it. Where when it comes to simple communication, that might be a little more challenging. Now, over the years, I've gotten a bit better at it. I'm probably all over the map still, but you get what I'm saying, right? Because I've got feedback from my talks, and they've been nice, so thank you guys for that. Apparently, I'm saying something valuable. My point is, work to your strengths. And if, I might be an artist. Imagine if my parents didn't support that, and I'm in like computer programming or something. I wouldn't thrive. But in my own field, I'm thriving. At least I think I am. I'm the beginning of, I've totally been thriving. I just have such high expectations and standards of myself. It always feels like I'm the little bud coming out of the ground, but I've actually blossomed already, so it's fine. Everything's fine. Boundaries are essential. I don't know about that. I really need to think a bit more about that. Tony Robbins says boundaries are barriers, so I'll let that settle with you, but I also totally agree with certain boundaries. But they can be a signal. So for the friend that we were discussing, it's like, yes, set boundaries around your hours, but I would think that's a signal that you're just not doing the right thing. Because you would feel so good if you were in another job where, yes, maybe you were 24/7. I'm technically 24/7 available for Bath, North Vancouver. 100% 24/7 available. And I love it. Not all the time, but I do enjoy being able to give something my all. That's probably because I'm not doing it all the time. You get what I'm saying. I don't know. I feel like boundaries is society's way of kind of keeping people in the box. Like you say, set boundaries around work. People are pushing for work-life balance. But boundaries often indicate something deeper, misalignment or neglect or whatever it means. Like I don't know, boundaries just isn't quite the right word. Say for myself, that's why I do so many different jobs. I teach yoga, teach fitness classes, teach art classes, public speak, wrote a book, teach the book, wellness coaching, painting. I'm the chair president of the board of directors and strategy, growth, operations for VAF, all of those things. So it's like I don't necessarily have boundaries on any of them because in a way I've just put so many things into my life that I love that I guess there's boundaries in a way because I simply can't teach yoga for 8 hours a day because I have other responsibilities. But that wasn't the intent. I didn't have the intention of being like, I'm only going to teach yoga this many hours a week. It's like, no. I thought I created my ideal life. What would feel good? Well, it's like, well, if I did all of this, then I'd never feel like I'm working because I'm just doing like a little bit of everything and it'd be fun. So then that's how I created my life. I obviously still do jobs that's for money. Like I wouldn't ideally do these reports, but I also enjoy doing the reports at the beginning to redo the structure and the process of everything and kind of revamp it and then pass it off to somebody else. So I think the intention should be a little bit different. The intention shouldn't be a boundary. It should be limitless of all the things that you love to do. And then how does everything fit into that? Yeah, okay, it might be a bit different if you have that 9-to-5 job. But it's pros and cons, give and take. Like you get a guaranteed salary. I do not have a guaranteed salary. I have like projected income, but nothing's really guaranteed. But for me, when I sell paintings, even though I sell them often enough, it's like, oh, a bonus. So in a way, I add that into my projected salary. Anyways. So, reflect. Are you setting boundaries because you value your time or because you're trying to survive? You know what I mean? It's kind of like the intention there. Is it because you're pulling back because you don't feel valued and they shouldn't have your time? Or is it because you've designed this life for yourself where this is actually the only time you're available? Point is, don't sacrifice your work ethic because you feel that you need to set boundaries. Keeping a strong work ethic is important, not just for the job or whatever future job you come around to, but for yourself. Protect that ethic by applying it to something that matters. So maybe you're in a place where you can't switch jobs right now or you don't know what else you want to start. Just apply it to something else that you would love to grow. For myself, I'm loving everything that I'm doing, but it's starting to feel a little bit like work because I'm doing things that I know how to do. I feel best when I'm learning and I'm doing something different and I'm expanding my spider web. I call it like a spider web and my roundedness. So I was thinking lately, like, what else do I need to throw into the pot? Yeah, okay, maybe I need to stay focused in doing certain things, but also I would rather something take a little bit longer and me enjoy the whole process probably because of the loss and death thing. It's challenging for me to just like sacrifice a couple of years in building something, because I'm like, well, what if there isn't a couple years? You got to enjoy it all. Like, what would you be happiest with? Anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. Talked a lot about that. Reclaim your mission, fam. You have a dream for a reason. If you don't know what your dream is, think about it. Ask yourself those questions, because we were all born with one. We are all here for a purpose and a mission. You're not just one of those background characters. Like, you kind of are in somebody else's life, but in your own life, you're the main character. So act like it. Discover what your dream is, and then realize that it's not just like some idea. You were given a gift, and you were placed with a mission for you and you alone to do it. You have a personal calling. I truly believe it. I don't even think it's something to believe. I think it's a fact. It doesn't have to be grand, but it is yours. So whatever that is for you, stop dreaming about it. Like, yes, okay, dream about it. That's great. But then realize that it's not just a dream. It's a mission. So start implementing little tiny tasks to move yourself further along with it. What did you want to do as a child, or what did you want to do when you first entered your career? Is it still true? And it can totally change. And sometimes I feel mine changes, but then also sometimes I notice, is it changing, or is it me just letting go of it a little bit more and thinking something else might be it? So yeah, you do need to stay focused in that sense, but it's not just one clear path to get there. It's a roundabout of ways to get there. So many different roads to get to your destination. So it doesn't really matter which road you take. You know, you could take the highway or you could take the scenic view. It just depends on the day. But put that destination is, write it down on paper. Just at least write it down on paper. If you're not sure the steps, let it simmer in your brain, in your oven for a little bit, and it'll come to you in your dreams. I actually woke up the other night. I can't even remember what I drew. Oh yeah, I was at my friend's house. Rachel, love you, miss you. And her fiance had this really cool painting, and I was looking at it, and then I was like, oh, that's funky. Like, maybe I'll try that. Who did it? And I went up and I observed the painting, and then I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I was like, oh, that was my dream. This is my painting. Now that I'm looking at my sketchbook, I'm not sure if I really like it, but just some inspo. Anyway, so I drew the painting at like 5 a.m. before I could even open my eyes. And my mom had a similar story. She told me when she was in fashion design school in LA when she was young, she had a dream that this girl won like most creative design, and which was kind of like the best award that you could win, and that she had these really cool designs. And then my mom woke up from the dream and realized, that's not hers. Those are my designs. This is my dream. She wrote it all down. She made the collection, and then she won most creative award at her fashion design school in LA. She was like, it was, you know, your dreams are telling you things, like your literal dreams and your, you know, waking daydreams. So, obviously my perspective is always tilted a little bit towards entrepreneurship, just because that's kind of the only way I know how to be. But you can build your legacy within a company. It doesn't have to be completely on your own. I sometimes wish I could, but that just seems more difficult for me. But it might be the right path for somebody else. Progress over perfection, you guys. It's not necessarily about hitting the target or getting to the destination. It's mostly about progressing. So don't worry about arriving, because realistically, you're never going to arrive. I realized that when I felt that I wasn't making progress with my goals. And I realized, well, because technically I had already arrived. So I'm not making more progress because I haven't gone into more detail with my goals and my dreams. So I just need to go a little bit more into detail with what that next step looks like, and then continue to make progress, because there is no end zone. Like, the end zone is death. So make it a real fun journey the whole way, and then just enjoy the process. Consistent steps, just like going to the gym. I've noticed, okay, so I made, say for fitness standard, I realized I wasn't maintaining. I actually had this example this morning. I looked at my abs and I was like, wow, now my standard is like 14% body fat. Sometimes I'm at 16, but that's kind of just depending on the month and my diet and whatever. But like 14 is ideal, and I'm pretty close to it usually. And I remembered years ago when I was like 20% body fat, 22, fluctuated between like 18 to 22, mostly around 20. I thought, I'd just love to see 14% body fat just once. And then I ran a marathon and I was at 14% body fat for like that afternoon. And then the next day I went back to normal. And I was like, And then for years I kept trying. And I realized, because technically I had told myself I just wanted to see it once. So then I achieved that goal. I didn't tell myself I wanted to maintain 14% body fat. So now what I tell myself is I maintain 14% body fat. And that's my standard. And the result of that is just, you have abs. But that's not necessarily my goal. My goal is consistent training. But I find my consistent training now automatically has the results that I want, because I just show up every day and it's like, surprise, there's a 6-pack. And it's like, well, why am I shocked every day still? I don't know, but I work out like 5 to 7 days a week, so it makes sense. Checks out. So setting your standard for yourself. What is your standard, and what is your identity? How can you shift your identity? And it might be work related, it might be fitness, health, wellness, friendship, whatever it is. Like, what is your identity in friendships and in relationships? Do you show up for people, or is that a later thing? Like, it's whatever. Friendships is huge for me. I rarely see people, but I have a list of lifetime friends that I've written down, being like, okay, these are my lifetime friends that I want to keep for life. And life gets busy, especially when you move across the world. How can I set FaceTime dates for them? Okay, now I'm in a new relationship, so I haven't been calling my friends as much, but that friendship is still there. And maybe it's not a quarterly FaceTime, it's a biannually or annual FaceTime date. Whatever it is, you guys know what to do. Get my workbook if you haven't already. I was going to say journal, do all these extra things, therapy, mentorship, rest, whatever it is for you. Like, create your daily structure. If you don't know what to do, though, 1, you can contact me and ask. 2, I just already put it in a book for you, so it's easy. It has all the components. It took me like 6 years to make, so it's a great start. Okay, I love you so much. Have the best day ever, and let me know if you have any questions. Don't sacrifice your work ethic just because you're not getting appreciated. Keep it up. Love you.